Hello, welcome to the apartment. I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
and we are the #1 video podcast on the internet.
Yes, we bring in our favorites. I don't care what your favorites are. We bring in our favorite actors, influencers, diverse actors, influencers, comedians, athletes, musicians, etc., etc.
They also happen to be your favorites.
They happen to be your favorites, but like priority is we make sure they're our favorites first, and then
Because if we don't like them, then how will you like them?
exactly. Oh, that's a great point. And we sit with them and we talk about their background, their influences, their inspirations, and just a bunch of other things. And by the way, before we get started, this episode is sponsored. We have to give a shout out to our sponsors.
It's sponsored by Adidas.
Adidas.
Do you like running fast, but actually you're just sitting on your couch all the time? Wear an Adidas track jacket.
Be comfortable. Oh my God, I'm wearing the entire outfit today.
You're wearing the whole
I'm wearing
outfit.
the pants and the jacket, and I'm so comfortable. Get your Adidas thing.
It's comfortable for exercising, jogging, or in Ali's case, eating chicken wings on your sofa.
I'm sure everyone can agree with me. And that's if you want to be comfortable eating your chicken wings while you watch Netflix, wear this outfit. Also, if you want more of the apartment, if you want behind the scenes, outtakes, and just like things, deleted scenes,
Yes.
we uploaded to our Patreon. Become a Patreon.
Yes, please.
A patron.
I think it's Patreon.
Patreon, but why is it spelled Patreon on the website? But like the person who pledges.
Is it patron?
Patron. Become a patron. $1 a month, and you get really cool things. And in the future, we will be giving out really dope, little swag, like
Maybe we'll
stickers
throw out
and
an
bumper
Adidas
stickers.
track jacket. Adidas. For when you want to look fast, but really you just wanted something comfortable to sit on the plane in.
Adidas sponsored the apartment. But this week, so check us out on Patreon, and
Yes.
a link will be in the description. This week we have a comedian.
Oh, what a guy.
When we mentioned in the podcast, he's our third Iranian.
He's our third Iranian.
which is a great benchmark. But you can find him on MADtv. So
He's on the new season of
MADtv,
MADtv.
like growing up, MADtv was before SNL.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was here, but on the
Yeah.
East, so we'd be at my grandma's and we'd watch MADtv, and we had Will Sasso, Air Spears, Bobby Lee, and they had all these great Malcolm McDonald, right?
Yeah.
Stewart, he played Stewart.
No, Michael McDonald.
is that what Michael?
Who's Michael?
Michael? Well, regardless of what he is, his last name is McDonald. And he
It's
played
definitely Michael.
and he
Malcolm McDonald sounds like a strong black man. And that's definitely what
I think I was getting him
he was
confused
not.
with Malcolm Gladwell.
Okay,
the
you need to
author.
stop. You need to stop reading. Okay.
Anyway, so MADtv went off air in 2009, but they made a comeback this year, and we have one of the new cast members.
Yes.
Yeah, Amir K.
We have Amir K.
Yep.
He's super funny, and we talk about
Everything,
man.
Yeah.
We get into stand-up, his parents immigrating.
Yeah, the stock market crash.
Yeah, he was involved
Or
in
the bailout, the whole
He's
the
involved in the housing market.
Yeah.
And then, switching your dreams.
Argo.
He was in Argo with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
So all that.
Yeah.
So get into it. Have a seat. Put on your favorite Adidas track jacket. Adidas, for when you have nothing better to do than watch a 1 hour long YouTube podcast.
And yeah, get comfortable for you guys at home watching this. But if you're driving, eyes on the road, and make
Ears
sure
on that iTunes or SoundCloud.
yeah, seatbelt, buckle up.
Have fun. This is Amir K.
Today on the apartment, we
What's the podcast called?
The Apartment.
The apartment.
Oh,
You get
nice.
the very
Very
meta,
nice. I
right?
get it.
Very meta.
So what do we have today? We have
Amir K. He is a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
And actor.
Yes. You've seen him on.
He's been on a lot of things.
Movies.
So many-
Academy, the Academy Award-winning Best Film, Argo.
Oh God! Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crush
If
that.
Yeah.
Blinked. You didn't see me.
MADtv.
He's recently on the new re-up of MADtv
MADtv.
on the CW.
Yes.
And you can see him every night crushing it.
Crushing it.
Doing stand-up.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the apartment. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me. This is so fun, man. I feel like we did a podcast before the podcast.
and that's what we do. We have the podcast
Yeah, Ali was
before.
cruising around. If you guys want to really get an insight, Ali was getting toilet paper.
I was
while, Asif and I were just sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes your guests just have to get up and go in the middle of the interview. So
That's fine. We don't cut.
Yeah.
If you take
Oh,
a shit,
Yeah.
You leave the door open and we don't cut.
That's great.
Well, you take the mic in
and everything
there.
was great when I first started. Taking a shit.
You carry the mic in there with
If
you.
you don't have a squatty potty, I'm not going.
I do have a squatty
Do
potty.
you?
On
That's,
God.
dude, that's
It's
a
the
game
best.
changer.
Yeah.
Because I went to India,
Yeah.
and that's
That's
just
how you
what
do
we've
it.
been doing.
This is a
It's
natural
dude.
squatty potty out there.
Dude, I swear, you know who got me onto that? Dave Adu. Do you know?
It's the best, yeah.
Dave Adu? Yes, he got me. Dude, he sent me one.
Oh, really?
He Amazon. Yeah, because he came over and he's like,
Changed
dude, you
your
got
life.
it. He's like, I did it with a shoebox for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay.
He's like, use some shoeboxes. I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
Your
And then I'm like,
DIY.
dude, like in a week, because he stayed at my house for a couple days, and then he went back to New York. And like in a week or some shit, I had one at my door, and he sent it to me. Very nice.
Oh, I sent that as
Game changer.
a wedding gift
Did you?
to my cousin. 'Cause
That's perfect.
I was like, hey man, I think
You know,
this will
help you through the divorce.
Oh God.
It's one thing he takes with him.
I was like,
Keep the kids.
Yeah,
I'll take the
the squatty potty.
yeah. I was like, do I carry this into like how do I don't
100% you do. Yes.
Oh,
I don't know if you carry it into like the
Yeah.
wedding, like wrapped, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, or I was like, do I give it to you afterwards?
Here's what
I
I
didn't
think
know.
that-
I would have had the ring bearer present that with the ring.
Oh yes.
With the
it
squatty
over.
potty, and they go, and your ring and your squatty potty.
the ring on the squatty potty
Yes.
as the kid
You know what I
walks
think
down.
is the next level, Squatty Potty 2.0,
What's
is
that?
one that's like collapsible that you can take with you when you travel.
Portable squatty potty. That's what's
Yes.
up.
Oh, patent that right now.
It's
and-
kind of weird shitting now without one. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it really is.
It
It,
is.
really is. Because I'll go to someone's house and I'm just like,
Yeah.
do I lift my legs?
What a game changer. What a
Yeah.
good product someone invented.
And it's so simple because like
Sometimes I do ballet toes.
Do you?
If I don't
oh,
have a
oh
squatty
yeah, you
potty.
like that? You
Yeah,
have to
like,
do
does
like
that turn into a creature?
That's great. I feel like you'd get on top of the toilet.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
I love how there's
I think they have that like on some. Where was I? Like, you know, some toilets show
Yeah.
you like that's not how you're supposed
Yeah,
to use
yeah.
it because
Yeah.
some people think you stand on the fucking.
on the
Well,
seats.
because those
Yeah.
are usually in places where people live or usually
Third
poop in the
world.
ground.
Yeah, right.
So they're just like, hey man,
Used
can
to
you
that.
not be fucking Gollum from Lord of the Rings on my toilet right now?
That's hilarious. I love how there's like different. There's like the broke man squatty potty. I have like the basic, the white plastic
Yeah,
one,
me
right?
too.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
there
there's
the fancy
Oh
ones?
yeah, there's like
There's,
the
like,
wood
the
ones.
dazzle.
It's
Really?
it's like nice, like looking like very high end, like wood.
I think I might
Carb-
upgrade, dude.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
like the
and those are
plastic
like
thing?
$40, and then there's
I got the
I'm
plastic
out.
one-
I'm out.
I got the plastic one because I was like, what if this is bullshit?
yeah.
Yeah. No, the plastic's legit.
I went to
dude.
Target and just got it. Did you guys order it online?
I got
No,
it online.
Dave sent me mine.
Oh, okay. Well, if you guys want to get yours, use promo code apartment.
And this brought to you by Squatty Potty. This was the best commercial for Squatty Potty ever without anybody even knowing.
Hey, can you get us
Gave them a
sponsor-
commercial and we gave them an upgrade
Sponsorship,
idea.
right
Dude,
there.
hit Squatty Potty up. That's such a good sponsor. And
We'll
it's such
use
an
this
easy
entire-
thing to pitch.
Yeah. Squatty Potty. It's the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got that. Dude, that joke was so good. He mugged to both cameras. He went. That was great.
Awesome. So let's
Oh
get
my
into
God,
some real shit.
Let's get into some real shit, huh?
The real
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
the real shit.
Yes.
We want to know about you. We want to know about your background, your influences, your aspirations. So you are actually our third Iranian on
No
the podcast.
shit.
You're
I'm
number
glad I
30.
made it. You fucks.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the third Iranian. There's like four. There's two of us doing
We
it.
had the shot.
There's two guys doing it, and I'm the third. Who the fuck else?
It's the Shah of Iran.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then-
we have
and then
Ayatollah.
Yeah.
He came in.
And then yo.
And then, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And,
no.
And we have Ahmadinejad coming in
Yeah,
next
next week
so-
he's coming in to say the Holocaust never happened.
Yeah. And then we have
In his little men's warehouse suit.
Yeah. And it's fucking shave every now and then. You're the fucking president, you know?
Yeah. He's like, no. I'm keeping it very casual.
Not today,
Yeah,
dude.
very casual.
Yeah, and then we have Gogosh coming in. So we
Oh,
have the
hell
entire lineup of like
amazing,
the
dude.
who's who's of Iran. So, you know, did you grow up in Iran, or were you born and raised there, or did you, or when did your family?
Yeah, I was born there. I was born there, and then we moved. It was after the revolution. 79 or whatever. I was born after that, and then we came in '85.
Oh, okay.
So I was like 4 years old.
Now, so you're four now, Tehran.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
okay.
that?
Oh,
Yeah. I was born in Tehran. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
1981, and then we came shortly after that because it was fucked up. We were at war
Yeah.
with Iraq, and it was pretty crazy. I remember those are like my earliest memories. Oddly enough, is that remembering like the planes going over, and so my dad would actually take my brother up to the roof or something, and like when the planes were coming across and like dropping bombs and shit, like. You would hear and see them, and then you'd all go down into your like basement little bomb shelter.
Now, did all of your family leave?
No,
Or just you guys?
most of my mom's side is still. A lot of them stayed. Just like a few of us came, And my dad just wanted to get us out of there because it was just not, he didn't see it be a good environment for us to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad he did. I can't imagine being being this guy. What do you guys want? What are you thinking about?
You just be like the tea guy.
Yeah.
Like the funny tea guy.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, like at the party, like, did you guys hear about this? Ahmad was it.
And they're like, they're like, Amir's so funny.
He is so fucking funny. Can you bring me some more Gand? That's sugar.
Did you when you guys came here, where did you guys settle into?
We moved to the city of Orange, like randomly, and I'm so glad we didn't, because I had an aunt and an uncle cousins that moved to Houston, and so we were supposed to like go to Houston. That's my mom's sister.
Yeah,
they went to Houston, and I'm so glad we didn't, dude, because like
that would have been tough for you.
Yeah, I just I don't know, because I've been there, and then it's like weird, and
So
I'm just glad we settled in Cali, because it was, we came and we moved to the city of Orange.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where's that at? So like
it's like inland, like if Orange County. Everyone thinks the beach when you think Orange County, but this is like inland, probably like 20 minutes.
Was there a big Iranian community when you guys came?
Not where we were, but very close to where we were was Irvine, California, which is like fucking packed with Iranians.
Yeah,
and we didn't. But I grew up like not around very many.
Oh,
just a few family members.
Yeah.
And then just a couple random kids in school,
So your parents just like, what did they do for work when they came out here?
Well, my dad kind of gave up everything and then came out here. He was like a developer out there.
That seems like the recurring theme. Like
everyone gives up everything and then they move out, and that's why it's like the sacrifice that they made for us is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And so that's why the pressure's on, for like not pursuing your fucking, academic thing, that route.
Right.
So I was like, shit, I got to make something happen. And I always wanted to do stand up and stuff, but it's like that weight of like, hey dude, you got to be success in something, and
for that sacrifice to mean something.
Yeah. And also it was just, they wanted to make sure we were successful in some sort. They brought us here for that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the weight of it. It's
that
like,
you don't have to leave again because you're like, Kami didn't work
fuck,
out. We have to go to Mexico now.
We're moving down. I'm going to build a wall, but I'm going to pay for it.
How long did it take you to learn English when you were here, like in school?
I'm still a little bit
you're
teaching it. I mean, learning it. No, it took me, dude, it was crazy because I do a lot of characters in my act, and I think that's because that I didn't know English when I came, so I learned by mimicking the other kid. You know what I mean? Like I learned by like watching them talk. Dude, they dropped me off in fucking kindergarten. I remember like bawling my eyes out because I was like, imagine you're a kid. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
You don't even know where you are.
They brought me from a place that I speak I understand everybody. And then you come somewhere and all you understand is your mom. You know what I mean? And like you're like, what the fuck is this? Like what is it? And then I remember I went to school. And these kids are like, hey, what is your way? That's what it sounded like to me. Like, hey, how are you? It's like you're a kid going, what are these kids saying? And it just was scary. And then I would learn just by like mimicking them.
And how long that would like into first grade were you able to like communicate? Because like I can't even wrap my mind around, being left, especially at a young age. I don't remember.
Yeah, I just know that I was just like, making, and then I would just like,
you probably
interact
picked it
with
up
the
pretty
kids.
quickly.
I'm sure I did, and at that age, it's like pretty easy. I guess.
Yeah.
Like
you absorb everything quickly.
Yeah, I think I had a Mexican accent for the first 3 years.
Probably.
Though. I was like with a lot of like, come on, mom, let's go to the park, fool.
Yeah. So was your neighborhood predominantly like Mexican American?
Well, I think it was like a mix of my neighborhood. Yeah, was like a real mix of everything.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think there was a lot of Vietnamese kids in our school, which was crazy. Yeah, but I think it was from that they had a whole migration, out of Vietnam at a certain time. So there was a lot of kids. I remember a lot of Vietnamese kids, Mexican kids, some black,
So there's Vietnamese kids also doing a Mexican accent?
Yeah, they were like, come on, let's all go, fool. Like, no, you cannot do that. But it was just like, a lot of Mexicans, though. I remember that. Like, just a lot of my friends were Mexican.
Right.
Growing up. And white, there's a lot of white kids. And then it just like, there was like a border of, Orange, the city of Orange was really mixed. And like right around there was like some nicer areas. Like Villa Park, where I ended up going to high school, was like a really nice part of.
Now, how did your parents adjust to the change and everything? Because every time I always think about like how it was for us, like getting into like the school system and like in the neighborhoods and kids.
Yeah,
but
moving to a new neighborhood.
And
it's crazy.
And I always forget. Yeah, and I always forget like the struggles our folks had.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine. Like I can't imagine my dad you know, being 32, 33.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I mean? I'm 35 right
Yeah.
now. I couldn't dude, I have a dog and I get high sometimes and forget I have a
Yeah.
dog. You know what I mean? Like he moved his whole life.
So you
and
could
came,
do that.
Yeah. So he came and with 33, 30, you know, and so I could be high and forget.
I'll take my son.
Thank
He'll
you.
get high with his
He'll
dog
forget.
someday.
I like how my dad's Indian in your story. I will take my dog. You're just gonna be a fucking high man. You're gonna be the highest high guy ever.
We're going to eat so much masala in America.
No, but yeah, I can't imagine. And my mom was a fucking kid. You know, she was like a kid. Like she was like 21, 22.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like they're, you know,
Yeah.
there's a little age difference, but like she's
Right.
like 22, 23. I can't imagine, dude, with two kids,
Just
doesn't
being
speak
like-
English.
Yeah.
You know, and she's all of a sudden in a new fucking like country without her family, dude. All her family's in Iran.
You have no support system out here.
It was insane. And that's the person I'm going to see today
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Laverne, my American grandma, who was like the first person they met. It was so funny. Like
That helped him out.
yeah, we met at like a swimming class or something. Like my mom took us to like some swimming thing,
Yeah.
like at the local Orange High School.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Laverne had like all her grandkids and stuff there. So like
Aw.
she's like this older lady that
wanna
was
hop
very
in?
sweet. And yeah, and then my mom was there, like didn't know how to like dress or be like she's like showing up with like high heels to the pool. You know, like she
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
had to like dress fancy to go to this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it was so funny. And they became friends, and she kind of took my mom under her wing and was like, hey, this is, you know, acclimated her to the culture and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was very cool. It's so odd that I'm going to actually see her.
That's awesome.
Now, did you go through college here, or did you get just?
I went back to Iran for college, studied at the University of Isfahan. I'm kidding. I studied in mechanics in bioengineering with a graduation
He got a full
ceremony.
ride.
Yeah, I got a full
scholarship.
ride to Mamshakat University with a minor in lolology.
You were the head of the football team.
Yeah, I was.
It's
They're
just
like,
you
what
on the
is
football
football?
team.
I go, don't worry about it. Soccer.
Just go long.
Yeah. Just keep going along. I'll throw you the pigskin. They go, I can't touch that. It's pigskin.
Yeah. So before you got into comedy,
Yeah.
did you want to do comedy at a young age, or was it something that you kind of fell into where you're like, oh, I think I might be good at this, or was it like a passion that you really want to go forward with?
No, I always did. You know, I was like class clown and funny in school.
Yeah.
And like, if you look at it, like, if I go back and look at my yearbooks, it wasn't like a stretch that I was doing stand up now, you know?
Right.
So I always wanted to do it. And I remember like, you know, early on, like even in like 5th grade or some shit, like I would do, like I had a teacher, Mr. Smith, and he was like super funny. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I can be a funny teacher. I was like trying
Yeah.
to figure out like what, I was like, this is really cool.
Living out your Boy Meets World
Yeah,
life. like-
yeah. I was like, I'll be a funny teacher. You know, this guy's fucking hilarious. He'd read
Yeah.
this book and then do the characters in the book when he'd read it to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So I was like,
those
oh,
are the
shit.
best teachers
Yeah,
to
and he
have.
was so fucking funny and cool, and like, I'll never forget that he was very like a real like, you know, influence, I guess.
Yeah.
And then then the book, and then he let us do a play, and let me and like a couple of guys in class, like a couple of people in class, do a play based off the book, and it was like the most fun I ever had. And we performed it for the class. I was like, this is so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And the kids would laugh at us and shit. I'm like, oh, I think that's really when I was like, oh, cool.
It's funny when teachers
like
do
it.
that. That's the only part of the class you remember.
I swear to God, but no, he was so cool, and he'd have like these like little like riddles that he'd have
Yeah.
up every day, so you'd put in your answer, and then he'd like read back everyone's answer and like make fun of the people that were, you know, it was just really fucking cool. And then like later on in 7th grade, I had another. It was always like the series of teachers that
Yeah.
would like encourage you when they saw like a, you know, some sort of a seed of like any sort of creativity or like whatever
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
You know, like you're able to entertain.
Yeah, those are like the best teachers, because not only do they impact your life, but like they actually like can help you learn. They actually care.
Oh, dude,
about-
I paid more attention in those classes than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, because it was more engaging and it was a way
Exactly.
and like you actually gave a shit. When
Yeah,
you showed
and I
up, 'cause you're like,
cared.
this is fun.
Totally. And I would like read the books, or I would read the thing that I needed to do because I was looking forward to like, you know.
the interaction in class. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before you did stand up, what kind of jobs and stuff did you
Well,
do?
hold on.
Yeah.
Did you go to college, or did
I
you
went
just-
to UCLA. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I did do that, and I did the whole school thing. And like I said, the pressure of like, you know, your parents telling you, and you know, we're all kind of at the similar background. They would tell you, you know, like since you're a kid, you know, like go to school. But that was instilled in you because of the sacrifice they made. I'm thinking they're like, they want us to be successful. It's not coming from a bad place of like, oh, you know, I want to control your life. They just
No.
want to make sure that you're cool later on in life.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
they know that's
yeah.
the easiest way and the best way.
They're
to
like,
do it.
I left all of my friends, so
Yeah, so
you
you
need to
can
make money.
not- yeah.
yeah. yeah.
what did you study when you were in school?
I studied history and political science.
Oh,
And,
were you trying to be a lawyer?
yeah.
Me too.
I just thought like,
Me
you know,
too.
I was
Everyone-
so fucking,
a lot of
every
comedians think
comic
that they're
goes
gonna be
like,
a
oh,
lawyer.
just do that and then we'll be funny lawyers or some shit, or like, dude, and I would study in the law library. This
Yeah.
was the most fucking depressing
So
place.
depressing.
I would study at the law library at UCLA just to see like what it's. Dude, I would see the same
Just,
dude
like,
behind
crying.
the same stack of books for like a week. I'm like, did you even go home, dude? And
yeah.
I was like, this isn't the life that I want.
Yeah.
And I
It's
was
funny
doing,
how we
like,
think we're gonna be funny lawyer too. Like we're gonna show up and be
Yeah.
like, how could he kill him? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, do like a funny voice, and they're like, come on, man. Yeah.
Everyone, dude. Maz talks about it too. I think Maz has this similar story. Like
Yeah.
a lot of comics, I think, had that like law school thing for some reason.
Because
I
it
don't know.
requires like talking.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're, like,
and then you're like presenting something.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, I don't know, but I'm so glad
which
I
is
didn't do
a
that.
complete disservice to the profession
Yeah,
of
you're
being
like,
an attorney.
this guy's on
I'm just
trial
gonna
for
fuck-
murder.
I'm
and
just gonna fuck around
He's
and
doing
go-
setup punch. Fuck you, man.
Let me run my Leno set first, and then
My opening monologue.
He's like, I don't know. I just wrote this in the car. He didn't do it. Like the alibi, calling over.
these are just some ideas that I'm working on right now. Just hear me out, and then we'll get to the case.
Now, were you doing stand-up while you were in college?
No, you know what's funny is like I didn't do stand up, but I was in junior college at a certain point before I did, because in high school it was a social thing for me. High school was like I was just like the lunch or the nutrition, the break times where I could go and like do fucking jokes and walk around the school and fuck around with all my friends and stuff. That was the fun part for me. Yeah. And so like I kind of fucked up toward the end. I didn't graduate with the best GPA, so I didn't have an option to be like transferring to good schools.
Yeah.
So I went to junior college, at Orange Coast College, and kind of got my shit together. I was like, dude, fuck. Come
on.
Yeah. I was like, come on, you got to get it together.
Yeah.
And I did. For a few years, I enrolled in like the honors program. But at the same time, any elective that I would have, I would go into like a theater performance type of elective. And I enrolled in the theater rep there. So it was like, and there was improv and there was a comedy show type of thing that we did there. And it was so fun for me. I got to write my own sketches and do that. And that's all I look forward to there. But meanwhile, like, getting the grades up and the GPA up with the honors thing to transfer.
Yeah. Did you do any plays?
I didn't do plays. I did this like, it was like a sketch troupe. It was like theater rep 142 and you enroll in that. And then you do, it was kind of like the CBS Showcase type of thing, where you just do a sketch thing, and it's like you rehearse and you prepare like 10 sketches, and
then you put
it's
them
a
up.
show. Yeah, it's a show that you put up, and at the end, everyone comes out and watches it.
So that's how
awesome.
you got into comedy, sketch comedy.
Sketch comedy, yeah, I guess so. But then I was doing like improv, and there was like classes of like improv or like scene study. So I did some of that stuff along the way.
Yeah. Now, how was your first stand-up experience? Your first time going up?
My very first one was I wasn't even old enough, and I did it like a couple times when I was younger. So before I did, when I was like 18, I think, or 18 or 19 or something, I was living in Newport Beach with some cousins.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna go. I found out where the open mic was. It's a place called Chester Drawers in Costa Mesa, or like Newport border.
Yeah.
And they had an open mic, but I wasn't old enough to go. But I had my brother's fake ID.
I did the same thing when I was in Chicago. Yeah.
So I fucking went with my brother, and I was like sweating. And I'm like, and I went, and then I had rehearsed like this 5 minutes that I wrote down, because I would write all the time. Like I was writing jokes and shit. And I was like, oh, this would be funny to do. And I came up with this like 5 minutes of shit, and then like rehearsed the fuck out of it. And then I was like, I'm gonna go try it at this open mic. I go there, it's like a shittiest open, like two drunk guys and fucking comics, And I go up and I remember this guy. I think it was Joe Braza. I forget what comic it was. Later on, I was like, oh fuck, I think I know that guy. Sharon Berrigan, do you know who that is? She was there. There was a couple other like Orange County comics that would like dabble, whatever. Yeah. And they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be, you're gonna bomb your first time, and like setting me up. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I went up and I actually had fun, and I got a couple laughs. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, I think I got this. Like I could do it. And like I did it a couple more times, and I invited like all my friends. I'm like, dude, I'm doing stand-up. Like I thought it was a big gig, and it was like literally like this shithole bar, and like my friend and his like parents came, and then like a couple other of my high school friends, they came. They're like, oh, you think he's a comic now? Yeah. And it was like so shitty, and it was just awful, It was like whatever. Maybe got a couple laughs, but it was just embarrassing, but I didn't realize it at the time. Yeah. And then I was like, fuck, and I did maybe another time, and then I was like, I just made excuses not to do it for like another 8 years, 10 years. Yeah. Literally like almost 10 years.
Wait. So then in between then,
I did I went to UCLA, and then I enrolled in this like, they have the thing called the Ultimate Improv at the time. It was like right by In and Out, like right there on Gailey.
It's like the improv space.
Now it's the improv space. Yeah. It was the Ultimate Improv at the time. And then they had a thing where you like audition, and they had like a college troupe, and I auditioned to be in the college troupe, and I got into be in the college troupe, which was cool.
Damn.
And I worked with some cool people, like some guys later, like this kid Kyle Fincham, who was doing comedy, and I think he quit and does some other shit now. But it was crazy. I like met a lot of people there, and I got to like got to like
perform and
get that out, you know. But I didn't tell my dad I was ever doing that, you know, because he was like, "What the fuck? Go to school."
Okay, well that
so that fed my like little you know, performance.
So you were working? Like, did you get a job after?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was always working. Like, I did restaurant jobs and shit. Like, I worked at fucking Olive. I mean, I'm starting to do a lot of bits about my jobs.
Yeah. So how was that? How was that working like these odd jobs, like bouncing around as in restaurants and waiters? It was just, you know, whatever. Did you have any experiences where you're just like, fuck this, what am I doing here?
No, I kind of liked the like waiting tables was cool because I would
be fun.
I'd be funny. Yeah, it'd be so funny, and I would work a table and get, you know, I loved it.
Crushing table 22 right now.
And I would just love that. So that was always cool. And I think a lot of comics will do that. They'll put themselves in a place where they're kind of doing that, you know, where there's fucking telemarketing or whatever it is. Like, you try to find a way to get that.
Fascinating. That's really interesting. I'm glad that you. It's interesting that you bring up your dad. So how was he taking it? So okay, for first, right after college, before we get into your parents taking your career aspirations, right after college, you graduate with your degree. Yeah. Then what do you dive into from there?
Dude, then it was like, that was the time I graduated in 2004 from UCLA, and it was like, that was the market, like the housing market was like going crazy. Yeah. And all my friends were making fucking tons of money back in OC, and they were like, we were like 22,
like 22. Flipping houses and shit.
No, they were doing like appraisals and loans.
Oh, okay.
And one of my best friends, this guy Brian Eaton, he had an appraisal company. Him and his dad had an appraisal company, and he was working there and just fucking killing it. He's like, bought a house in Long Beach. He like had a couple Porsches. You know, he had like fucking a Cayenne and a Carrera.
Whatever.
A couple fucking things. And he's like, dude, you got to come. We're making money out here. Like, and I would go down during the weekends and be like, damn, they're fucking really killing it.
He straight up was Wolf of Wall Streeting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that whole shit was about that. You know?
Yeah.
Not Wolf of Wall Street, but the other one.
Big Short. Or
the Big Short.
Yeah, the Big Short. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I was like living in that time, and it was like. And so I was like, fuck, I'll go. And I told my dad, I'm like, I'm going to go save money to go to law school. You know, like, made that shit up. Just anything to buy time to not have. Because after college, I'm like, now what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I went and I started to work with him, Brian and his dad, and a few of my friends worked there. My brother worked there too. And we started fucking killing it. He had an appraisal company and he taught us how to do appraisals. Yeah. And then within like the year of learning how to do that, I like kind of broke off and started my own business. And was just fucking all the clients that I had.
You're crushing it.
Dude, crushing it. Making like so much money. And like, I bought a condo. I fucking had nice cars. And like, but I still was like, I'll do the stand. I'll go get back to stand up. You know, I'll get back to it at some point. I'll get into it at some point.
Right.
Let me just ride this out, make some money, whatever.
Right.
It was all excuses not to do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, what if I get into it and I'm not good?
Yeah.
Because somebody somewhere along the line told me like, you're maybe funny, but it might not translate to the stage. You know what I mean? And I just,
so they put
and I was like,
doubt in your head.
Yeah, I did a couple of mics. I'm like, I think I could do it, but somehow I thought like, what if I really get into it?
And it just turns out to not be.
And I'm just not, it doesn't translate.
I drop everything for it.
Because I used to tell people that. So they would be like, this guy should do stand-up. I'm like, well, sometimes it doesn't translate. And I was the guy that was telling them.
You were shitting on yourself.
Yeah, because I was all about me. I didn't know. I was like, maybe, but it was my own fear.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, if I do my dream and my dream's not good, then what?
Then what do I do?
What, you kill yourself?
Yeah, at least if you don't do your dream, at least you can hold on to that.
That's
and be
what
like,
it was. And I'd always have it. I go, I always have the dream. Yeah. But then it's like, that's what happens, I think, to a lot of people is they hold on to that dream so long. Then they're 45 with 2-3 kids and a fucking shitty marriage. And they're like, fuck, it's too late.
Yeah.
And then you're the funny guy at the water cooler. Yeah. And I always use that analogy. I go, I don't ever want to be the funny guy.
Well, see, I was always afraid of like
bats.
No, it's like.
That's the whole thing. Can we derail this?
Let's talk about bats. No, because I was like, I'd rather. Yeah, like I wanted to try, and I was like, I want to try and fail, because at least I'll be able to say I did it.
Yeah, you're doing it right now.
But then there's a lot, exactly. But then there's a lot of people who want to, like, you can tell, like, there's some, and I hate to be that fucking guy, but you can tell where like this is not for you.
Oh yeah.
And but then like, or do you want to be? Do you have Do you want to be that guy that literally crushes to put that doubt in your head?
I wouldn't. What do you mean to say that to somebody? I think everyone's got a dream, and you see it all the time in the comedy clubs. You go, dude, this guy shouldn't be doing it. I don't ever fucking say it because it's not my place.
That's also their happiness. Like if they're doing it and they're just like they'll figure it out. If you the thing about stand up is like if you bomb enough.
My thing is like
some people don't get it though, but it's like you said, it's their like ignorance is bliss. Like they don't, if they think they're doing well, whatever. Let them
in their world, they're fucking Louis C.K. So like,
No, but
let him
that's
have
the problem. See, like especially for friends of
I
mine.
never encourage it though. Like
course
I
not.
stopped doing that like
course
early
not.
on. Like when you say good set, just
I don't
now
do
if
that.
it's like not a good set, I just will like, hey dude, what's up? Like I
Hey,
won't.
cool shirt.
You were there, man.
Yeah.
You did it.
Remember when you were there? Cool, man.
No, I struggle with because it's like especially if they're like people I know and friends. I'm like I
Yeah.
don't want them to waste 5 years of their life.
I mean, you can just tell me.
yeah. Also, that's why we were doing this actually.
Yeah.
It's an intervention.
You are not that great.
Yeah.
The Rex show is amazing.
the number one
acting.
comedy
On
show
cable.
on cable.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, no,
I don't think you're made for it, man.
No. Like, dude, Asif's stand-up is great. Dude, it's funny because like we all, at one point, all the brown guys were in the same
Yeah.
thing, and it was all the like I think, from as far as I'm concerned, all the dopest like brown comics
Yeah.
of our class.
And we're all doing shit. It's great.
And it's like we all did, broke off and did our things.
Sure, it's
beautiful.
awesome to see everyone.
Okay, so answer me this. Okay, so you were doing this the loan out thing, and you were crushing it. You were living the life that and I'm sure your parents were so proud of you.
Well, they were proud. See, that's the thing. It's like it wasn't like be a doctor, be a lawyer. As long as I was secure in something and I was making money, and I was like, they know like financially I'm secure, and like they were cool with it.
They were
it wasn't
so-
like
they were so-
you have to be
a doctor or something. So they're proud of you.
But they
they're
just
happy.
thought that they say doctor or lawyer because they know that's the most that's a good easy way to get into that, and then also be financially secure because
Right.
doctors and lawyers tend to
make
fucking
money everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's just like a universal thing. So.
Okay, so then what happened how did that change when you were like, I don't want to do this anymore. Now I want to do stand up.
was it like that,
was-
or did the economy have to
That's
crash?
the thing. That's the
Okay.
thing. The kick in the
Oh.
ass I got, which I may have, it was the biggest blessing in disguise because I was like literally doing this shit, making money. I thought the money would never end.
And you would do it forever,
Dude,
conceivably.
I mean, I don't know because I wasn't happy really, I don't know if I'd do it forever.
But you
I'd
wouldn't
get
have
to a
stopped
point-
as quick if the economy
No.
didn't crash.
And the economy crashing was the best thing that could have happened to me because I
Yeah.
literally lost like 70% of my business in like a month because they were all the
Wow.
subprime lenders that I was working with.
Yeah.
So their shit was going, fucking bust right
Yeah.
when the economy crashed. And so I started losing and I was like, fuck. And my bills were like this and I was my bills were so high and my income now was so low.
'Cause
And
you're
I was
living
like,
that
just
life.
fucking all the money that I had was just going out. Like I had fucking $1,800 car payment, fucking,
fuck.
$3,500 mortgage with the HOA and
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
shit that I was paying out and not making the money anymore.
Mhm.
So like slowly it was just like depleting my bank account, and I was just trying to stay afloat and then kept that going for a little bit. And then my girlfriend at the time, she was like,
I'm leaving.
no, she came and she moved in with me.
Oh,
We
okay.
lived together and I could have made it work. My
Yeah,
brother did. My brother like survived the crash and fucking does very well.
Yeah.
But like it was like a whole thing. I'm like, do I really want to dedicate all this energy and time into this, or do I want to fucking? My girl got a job in LA with a PR company.
Okay.
And so I'm like, this is fucking perfect. We'll move to LA. Like she's like, let's
yeah.
move up to. I'm like, this is perfect. I'll fucking move up there and start doing stand up.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of just like try to do my appraisal stuff. But in my back of my head, I'm like, dude, I'm letting everything go. I'm not paying another fucking payment ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna let all my shit go.
Of course.
So you sold off everything.
I didn't sell off. I mean, I tried to, salvage whatever I could, but then I got some tenants in my place, and I think a lot of people were doing this at the time, where they were like renting their place out,
Yeah.
and then not paying the mortgage. I put so much money into this fucking house,
Yeah.
and like redid it, and fucking I was paying this mortgage. I'm like, dude, why am I spending all this fucking money? The bank's fucking me anyway.
Of course. The
Like,
bank
they're-
always
Yeah,
wins.
they're just so fucking you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna live off of the rent and then whatever appraisal money I can make. So then I stopped paying my mortgage at some point. I tried to do it until I was like really hurting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this. And then I had heard like everybody was doing the same shit. I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna do that, and I don't care like if my credit gets fucked up or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the next time I make money, it'll be at least doing something I like to do or whatever.
Right.
And that'll be later. And I was young. I was only like 20, 25, 26.
Yeah. Damn.
And then I started stand up. Like I moved to LA. It took me like a year to like, I was up here and I'm like right across from the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And I would see it all the time. Like, I was like, fuck, and I'd do like jog and I would like see the Laugh Factory. I'm like, I gotta get there.
Yeah.
And dude, I fucking just after like a year or some shit of being in LA, I'm like, fuck it, let me go to an open mic. And I went to an open mic and I went to the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and I remember Hal Sparks was like,
Oh, wow.
Hal Sparks was up before me or after me, I don't know, whatever. But I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is an open mic. Like,
Yeah.
why is he here?
That's a lot of LA being like,
Yeah.
why is that guy here? And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that guy being like, because it's not that great.
Yeah. So that should have been the first tip that it's
Yeah.
gonna be a long road. So then I just started there, and then I just started going like regular, and I was like jumping in a little bit, and then I went to the haha. Like I somehow like made it over to the haha, and I was like
up in North.
Because I was trying to find mics and shit, and I'd done a few little mics, but I'm like, I need to find a place that I can go up every fucking day.
Yeah.
And that was it. The haha became the place because they had a mic every day, so I'd start going to that mic, and then there was a few other places that I'd go to, but that was the one. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay and just do
this place.
So I started to work for free for Jack at the haha, like making phone calls and getting people to come in, whatever it was, just so I wouldn't have to pay, because you had to pay $5 to go up every time.
Oh.
And then I was like, fuck this, I can't keep like paying $5 every time I want to go up. So I'm like, and I wanted to get to know like this craft and like how to do this shit. And so I went there and started making the phone calls, and then he'd let me do the open mic for free every day. So then I would do that, and then I would go and peddle tickets on the street. Yeah. Like just like
barking or whatever.
Yeah, I just go up. Yeah, I'd bark. Yeah. I'd go up like Lancashire, and if I can get like 5-10 people in off the street, they'd let me go up in the show later.
Oh, damn.
You know, so I would do that because nobody else was doing that. But I was like, that was my personality. I can go out and be like, hey, dude, fucking come check out the show.
And they'll be like, okay.
Yeah, have you guys seen the comedy club down the street?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we got Damon Wayans coming in. I'd just lie about whoever. I'm like, Chappelle's coming, dude. John Candy is there.
Richard Pryor's coming back from the dead. He's here too, man.
Yeah, but then if I got enough people, and then they'd always come and have a good time. So it was never like, you know, I fucked people over. It wasn't like come to see an open mic. It was like there's a good show happening.
People don't care as long as they're having fun.
Yeah, and they're having fun, and it's like a bunch of those people in that, you know, Lancashire district that like.
There's nothing to do over there, really.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, just come check it out. It's better than a movie. That was like my pitch.
Go to Chipotle.
I don't know how many times I said it's better than a movie. That was my pitch.
So how did you fall into acting? Now, was that just did you want to transition from like stand up into acting, or was acting always like something you wanted to like dive into?
No, acting was always something I liked it. I didn't mind it or anything. It wasn't like my prime focus. Like I want to be an actor, but because of the stand up, everything I got acting wise came through stand up.
Same here.
Yeah, so it's like that's just a natural thing that happened.
I would only be doing Indian accents if I only went in as a person.
Yeah, because they had to come and see you do the other shit and be like, wow, he's way more than just a fucking what is your name?
How are you?
Can I fix your computer? You know?
What if I put masala in your computer?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man? You're the great. You're the great. Like every line. No, so it's same shit. So I went in, I don't know, like some people would start to see me do stand up and they were like, hey, this guy, I think he can act. Because when I do my act, I do like some
characters and all that
characters
stuff.
And I'm like doing it, and you can kind of tell, like,
of course.
Also when you watch Asif, you can see that he can act.
Yeah.
You can see the way he carries himself and like the way he is, delivering and shit.
Yeah.
So I think people saw that, and then I got your brother, actually, this is what's crazy. Asif's brother fucking got me an audition for Argo.
Really?
Mo, yeah.
Shit.
Dude, Mo was like, Mo brought me and Maximilian. He goes, dude, these guys are Persian. I know them, and we had met.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I think you should fucking audition for this. And he brought me in, and I got the part, or I got a part in it. I was brand new. That was my first fucking acting gig. Like,
God, what a way to start.
Yeah, and it was like, whatever. It wasn't like anything crazy, but it was like to have that, and it's a fucking Oscar-winning thing. And it was just dope. I was like, oh shit. And I'd gone in, and I got to audition for Ben Affleck. I got to fucking
you got to meet him?
Dude, I was reading for another part. If I had, because my accent's really good. My Iranian accent's really good, and it's very authentic, and like I can, because I'm a decent actor. Yeah. So like, I had read for this other part, and it was like, a bigger role, but I had no credits.
Oh, yeah.
So he liked me, but he just was like, they can't fucking, trust you in front of a fucking that sort of production.
$100 million.
Yeah, it's like movie. A production.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just trust a guy to fucking be on.
Yeah.
And like, what if I fuck up and whatever? Right. So he's like, dude, I like him, and I'm gonna find you something in here. Yeah. And he did, and I got Taff Harley into SAG because of it, and that was cool. Okay. But your brother was the one. He had my SAG award at his office. That's the best part.
So they won like it was like the best cast, right?
We brought an ensemble cast.
So
for like my fucking 45 seconds on screen.
So everyone on the cast gets an award, right? And then I had like they mailed the certificate to my brother, and then so I was holding on to it, and I just like had it.
Did you have it?
And it just said your name. Like
that's hilarious. You had it.
I had it. It was like,
oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, and your brother would always be like, "Come get it," because he wasn't my manager. He just got me the gig. And he's like, dude, yeah. And I was there for like 2. You had it for like 2 years.
It was just like in my apartment for so long.
So funny. Yeah, and I was like, it's so crazy, your first thing, and then that's because the scene was dope. Like we got to shoot.
It's a good scene.
And it's like I get a close up in the fucking, it's like
that's dope. Like a dope thing you could put on your reel.
What role? Who was the character you played?
I was just like a passport checkpoint guy. Which
at the beginning or at the end when they were leaving, or when Ben Affleck was
when they were leaving. It's like a very tension building moment. And then the scene we actually shot was a lot longer than what they showed. But and I understand why, because it was like a tension building. They can't make my scene all long and then another long scene. Yeah. So it was like a quick like you think they're gonna get stopped, and I check their passports. And in the actual thing, I have like dialogue and shit with like Ben Affleck. And what are you guys doing? What are you leaving? What were you here for? And blah, 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 blah. With the other guys that are coming through my thing. But with the way they shot it, it's just me like looking at him, and it looks like I'm not maybe going to question him. It's very subtle. And then I fucking give him the thing, and I go ahead. And then it cuts like Ben Affleck, like you know, whatever. It's one
cuts
of those
to Batman.
Ben Affleck going, I go, Ben, I think you're overacting that part.
Okay, so.
But he did. I fucking around like while I was there. He go, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon is traveling with you. Like as a joke for the other. We were like doing things, and they were like, oh, don't fuck around.
Okay, so you did that. You did a bunch of other TV stuff. Now you did the re-up of MADtv.
Yeah, that was the latest thing, which was fucking amazing because I grew up watching MADtv, and that was like one of my favorite shows, you know, and like.
That must be a weird, interesting feeling of like liking something and then having it not be a thing, and then them bringing it back, and then you can be in it.
Dude, it was so surreal because I was like, I remember when I got into stand-up, you know, and I'd seen like Bobby Lee and a couple of the guys that were on the cast, like Johnny Sanchez or whoever, like the guys at the comedy clubs. I'm like, holy shit, these guys were in MADtv. And I loved that show, but then it was done, and I'm like, fuck, there goes my shot of being on it.
Yeah.
And they brought it back, and it was like, in Living Color, there was a similar thing happening, but it never got made, you know, it just went, you know, to the casting phase, and I was up for that, and that's where Julie Ashton was like, come in, and I had done my characters and stuff for In Living Color. So
how many characters do you have to do to get on the show?
I did a ton. I mean, I do a ton.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the minimum is, but
Yeah.
like people would do 3, you know, characters and a couple impressions, just like SNL.
Yeah.
But I do a bunch of characters, so I just fucking rattled off. I mean, I'm like, I can do so many different fucking ethnicities and voices and whatever characters. So I just kept going, and I was like, hey, fucking, you know, they're like, wow. And after a while, they're like, hey, dude, this guy's got so many. We can use all these. Yeah. And I guess it worked out for me. But I mean, it was a like long process. The casting for it was like 9 times they see you. You know, they came to watch my stand up. They fucking saw the shit.
Well, how did you like the process of shooting a sketch show? Like
that was fun.
Show.
That was we were just talking. It was before we started the podcast. It was so fun. Yeah. Like because now you're really in the character. Like I can do characters on stage, but I'm not in a fucking wig and a mustache and like in costume.
They still know it's you.
Yeah.
But when you're wearing the outfit,
dude, I
like,
get into it, and you can become the guy, and then you get to riff as the guy. Like me, and we had Adam Ray, who's another comic, and a buddy that I've known for years, and we have a good chemistry. So like. Any sketch we were in together, we just fucking go off the handle, and they let us like take 2. We'd be able to like fucking riff, and just do whatever, and it was so fun because we'd come up with these like crazy moments, and like that was the one frustrating thing is sometimes it wouldn't make it to air because it didn't get approved at the table read.
Right.
So the network would be like, well, Standards and Practice isn't gonna let that fly, even though it was fucking hilarious.
God damn it!
That was the jam up with the, you know,
and you guys didn't shoot in front of a live audience, did you?
We did partially, so we would do some on location shoots and like. Pre-tape stuff.
That stuff is fun.
That stuff's great because you have like all the time in the world, and you can do what you don't have all the time in the world, but you can do, you know,
as many takes as you want.
Yeah, and it wasn't. But even then, our production was like pretty, you know, efficient and quick, and like because budgetary reasons and shit like that, you got to kind of get it done.
Was it amazing shooting in front of an audience?
It was cool. Yeah,
you get that.
Yeah, you get that, like, for us, the performance aspect of, you know, being in front of a live audience and the juice you get from that. Like, once you get a laugh, you roll off of it. And it's like, that was really fun. And just in general, the experience of it was cool because it was, like, the whole cast was, we all signed up at the same time.
It was a small cast, right? It's like,
it was 8 people.
8 people, yeah.
And the best part was we were all at the same level. You know, it wasn't like SNL where you get in as the new guy and you have to fucking try to make your bones and, like, figure out where you stand in the room. Everyone was on the same page, so we were all very supportive of each other.
And did you guys all write together?
Well, the thing with that is we weren't technically writer performers, you know. That was another budgetary thing. I think was like, you know, they didn't want to have, because they'd have to pay a little whatever.
Yeah.
And have us all be union, you know, writers union.
And
all that. And so we'd pitch our ideas, and, you know, they were like sketches I've been, you know, or bits I've been doing on stage for years. And I'd be like, hey, this is this character. And then so that we'd give it to the writers, and the writers would do their thing with it. And then we'd get it back, and then you kind of make it your own again. You know, so there was a couple process, like little filters that you'd have to go through. What kind
of you finished the first season.
Yeah.
What kind of party did they throw? I'm interested.
The rap party.
The rap party. I'm interested in rap parties.
I mean, they did throw us a little rap party after, like way after, like on our last episode. But after the last taping, like the live taping, Adam Ray fucking stepped up huge.
Yeah.
And fucking went and like rented out, what is it, Fat Dog or something, or like I don't know what the
Fat
place.
Sal's.
No. It's like this place on Fairfax, whatever it is. But he rented out this bar and fucking just like got a huge tab. Ooh. Yeah, he dropped some fucking loot on it, but it was so cool of him because like everybody was there. And it was like, because they didn't have anything set up for us right after we wrapped the live taping. So from the live taping, we went straight.
Those parties are the most fun. Like
dude,
when it's
fun.
Right after you wrap.
Yeah, because everyone's all juiced from the show,
Yeah.
and we were like stoked. And that was, but I mean, you know, the Telepictures the studio threw us a official rap party when
like later
the last episode aired.
Yeah.
You know, just to say thanks for doing it or whatever. And that was a different bar, but the turn up was fucking in the first.
Yeah.
So are you hearing anything for a second season? Or?
We don't know yet. We don't know where it's going to land. We don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know any information about that yet. And I have a meeting with the studio in a couple weeks. We'll see.
I have a question. Have you thought about doing your own show? Have they talked to you about that?
That's what I think we're meeting for. That is like if something, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with Mad. I don't know if it's going to fit into the schedule again or whatever. But they haven't really told us anything. So.
But they like you.
There's that option. Yeah, they cast us and they spent this long ass process doing that. So I mean, it was a, you know. Yeah. So maybe if the show doesn't work there, it could work somewhere else. I don't know. I have no clue. So, but that's what we're going in to talk about.
To take it back to Argo, you know. So.
Fucking Argo.
No, it's. I only bring that up because it got some backlash from the Iranian American community. I'm sure even Iran.
I mean, anything you do that has to do with the Iranian community is going to get backlash at some point. But why did you portray us like that? And
well,
why did you do this?
That was the thing.
And it's just that's
it was
part
a
of
portrayal.
The nature of it. Who gives a fuck? It's like, dude, that happens, and that's somebody's take of it. You know what I mean? So like. It might be accurate to somebody and totally false for somebody else, depending on where your political views are and who your fucking religious views are. And all that shit. So.
Yeah. So I mean, like, because a lot of people were their complaint was not just like the political depiction, but like just like the just another depiction of angry Iranians.
Yeah, sure. But I purposely was like, I'm not going to play. I mean, I was a fucking passport check.
Yeah.
That did a look, you know. But I was like, I told myself before I started this career, like, you know, you do the same where you're not going to play the whatever. Unless it's something funny and I want to do it.
Unless the writing is funny.
Or I fucking, it's a character I want to do. Like on Mad, I do a TV show host that I love to do because he's so fun and he's fucking just fucks around. And it's this guy, Ali Nazimzadeh, who has a talk show. Yeah. And he just interviews fucking celebrities and he goes, oh yeah, but he's the #1 actor in Iran. So he thinks, he's better than them. And like, he goes to show a clip of their movie and it's him doing the clip of their movie. So like, that guy's dope. You know, so everyone is like, oh yeah, I saw your movie. Take a look at the clip. And it's just me doing their movie. Like, you are the worst. Like a shitty version. So that type of shit's fun.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, fuck, you know, I'm the terrorist. Yeah, you better watch it. You know, like, I'm not going to do those things. And I told myself, like, I wouldn't if that was what they wanted to. And so it was just a checkpoint guy. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Have you noticed that have you gotten a lot of requests to do those roles?
I always turn them down, yeah.
Okay, so
I know he gets a lot of them because I get them and I'm Indian.
Yeah.
So
it's like, and then over the years, my management they understood like, oh, dude, he's not gonna do anything.
Same here. You have to like talk to them.
No, you literally because they don't care. They just want. I mean, not that they don't care. They just know that like, hey, this is a job, and also it'll get you seen some more. But for me, it's integrity-wise, and I know for you too.
Yeah, of course.
It's like you don't want to be that fucking
also,
guy.
it's
and
that
Maz
thing
is the same way.
It's also that thing of like for anybody else. Well, I guess if you're going off of like white people, they can audition and they can play 15 different things, and there's still a blank slate when they come in. Nobody's like, oh, you're just this guy. If we do like 2 terrorist things, people will be like, oh, you're just the terrorist guy forever.
Right.
You can never be anything other than that. So I think, that's the kind of conversation I had to have with my people. And be like,
dude,
no.
all the time. And it's like, and sometimes like you have to fucking really fight for it. Like, dude, I just don't want to do that. I'm not going to go in. Even if you go in, you know what I mean? Then the casting director sees you as this is my go-to guy for the fucking terror. And it's like, you don't want to be that guy, you know? No. And I've done this dumb shit. Like, I don't know if it's dumb, but I think Argo was probably the closest I got to like a guy that's like a mean looking Persian guy that's like not, you know. but still, it was like whatever. The guy was having a bad day at work.
Understandable.
Terrorist. I didn't have a bomb strapped to my chest.
He just found out from his kid that his kid wants to be a comedian. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I am having. The
Okay,
worst
so yeah, okay, and that's what I wanted to get to before. How did your parents take it? When you're like, I'm not gonna go
dropping everything
I'm not gonna do real estate anymore. I'm gonna be going into stand-up comedy
full time.
Yeah, well, my dad. I mean, they were like I said. After I started making money doing the real estate thing, they're like, this guy's self-sufficient. My dad moved back to Iran, dude. He was like, whatever.
Or he's like, peace out.
He did. He pieced out. I mean, because he had like family there. And
Yeah.
like, dude, they fucking miss it too. And
Yeah.
like, he goes there and he lives like, whatever. I mean,
He's like, buy a squatty potty.
he comes
I'm
back
leaving.
all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So, but he has like a ranch there. He like built himself this fucking dope place. And like with a little bit of money, you can kind of
Yeah.
live all right out there. And
Yeah.
like, they don't bother me. He's older, you know? They don't fuck with him. It's like if you're a young kid there trying to like fucking party and shit, yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
get fucked with. But like
Yeah.
older people, it's like, dude, and he has his family and like his friends there, so they like, you know, hang out, do
Hang
whatever.
out, drink tea.
Yeah, whatever. They
food,
just chill. It's like
chill.
fun, you know.
Yeah.
And so why, you know, not let him have that? It's
Mhm.
like his fucking later years. And he comes back if he wants to come here. He goes to Vegas and parties and like does whatever. Sees his friends here.
He's like, I'm gonna go see
Yeah.
Calvin Harris
Yeah,
and it's
he's
back
like,
to
fuck
Tehran.
yeah, Steve Aoki is playing at the Ondas. Like what, Dad? I
He's
didn't
like
even know you were into that.
He's
He
yelling
goes,
at Steve Aoki, like, do
Yeah,
you know my
yeah,
son? Do you know my?
Your dad was Benny Hanna. Your dad was Benny Hanna.
Steve Aoki's like, this is a weird heckle I'm getting right
He
now.
goes, this guy keeps yelling, your daddy's Benny Hanna. Dude, that's so funny.
But how did they take it when you're like, were they supportive? So they were supportive. They didn't. They're like,
no,
just,
I mean they knew, and it's like it wasn't a stretch. Like I said, it wasn't like what you're doing comedy. Like I was
Yeah.
always fun, you know, like being funny and like fucking around. You know, so like, and my mom would always be like, dude, my mom's an artist, so she was like, dude,
Oh,
do whatever.
okay.
My mom, yeah, painting and abstract. She does a lot of like, she worked with like a lot of heavy metals. Like she would weld
shit.
and like do crazy sculptures
awesome.
and shit, which she's amazing. She lives in the artist community in Santa Ana, in the
Wow.
city, like Orange County.
Yeah.
And so she lives with all these artists, and she's always been like, you know, open-minded about shit like that. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, you have to, you know, I'm here. And like,
Yeah.
And she was, like I said, a kid when she came here. So a lot of times we were like doing you know, we kind of raised ourselves in a way,
Yeah.
my brother and I, because my dad was never around, and then we kind of had to just like
So
find
you
our own
kind
way.
of you kind of benefited from the time, because I feel like if you had told your parents at like 19, I'm quitting everything, I want to do stand up, they'd
Yeah.
be really worried. But the fact that they saw you grow up, have
I
a
did that
job,
whole
make
thing.
money, do
I did
all
the
that.
school.
Yeah.
I did the fucking work. I did all that, and I made money. And they knew. My dad was never. He's told me like later. He's like, I was never worried about you. I knew
can
like,
take care of
whatever
yourself.
you'd be able to do. You were a self-sufficient kid.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when after like I'd fucking moved on my own 17 to my cousin's place and like
Yeah.
did my own thing, had my own jobs, did my own shit, like
Yeah.
took care of myself. You know, so he was never like, oh my god, I got to look after this guy.
Yeah.
You know, so he never worried. And after that, but in my head, I always had this thing of that pressure of like,
Yeah.
they brought me here, let me make something good. And then after that, I'm like, dude, fuck it. Let me just live. You only get one shot at this life.
Right.
Let me do what I want to do and be happy. I want to be able to sleep at night and not worry and not have that dream in the back of my head. I
Can you
want to
say
live.
that to all the Pakistani kids watching right now?
Pakistan, I want to fucking live my dream, motherfucker. You want to live your dream? You want to live here? You want me to go back to Calcutta? No. You want to live your dream? You live it.
Oh my god.
मेरा नाम है अमर कट्टे मेरा नाम है क्या?
They're like, we gotta unsubscribe to this podcast. This,
Yeah, right
this
now with that.
this
What is your name?
This is
motherfucker? You want to write a comment? You write a comment yet? Write a comment. You want to sit?
Oh my god. So follow your dreams, kids.
Dude, follow your dreams. You
Do
only
it.
get one shot.
Yes.
You only get one shot. Don't fucking, you know, you want to be a YouTuber, be a fucking YouTuber.
Yeah, do it.
No one's going to watch your videos. Every kid wants to be a fucking YouTuber.
I
I
know.
mean,
They're all vlogging, just like,
yeah,
hello.
they're like, hello, we are vlogging.
Yeah.
No one's watching. I got 2 views and one was my mother.
I try to discourage, not discourage, but like talk
No,
some
you
sense
can't.
into people.
It's like, dude, it's
It's
like
their
anything.
dream.
If
Let
you're
'em
good
have
at
it.
if you do it, dude, I'm not one to say
No.
shy away from your dreams. Do whatever the fuck it is, but you got to have like, you know, have some self-awareness.
Yeah.
that, like,
That's
if it
the most
sucks,
important.
dude. Like, maybe you're not cut out, and we're not all cut out for it. I know
That's
just, like,
exactly,
everyone's not an
yeah.
actor, everyone's
No.
not a singer. But dude, if you have that drive, like all I can do is comedy, and it's in my fucking heart. Like I would literally
Yeah.
be like, fuck this. I would be depressed every single day.
Would someone
if
be
I-
able to talk you out of comedy?
There's not a chance.
See, that's the difference. There's some
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
you can talk them out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
If you can do that, you shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
You shouldn't, if you can get talked out of being a fucking YouTuber.
I say
or
that
Vine
all
guy or
the
whatever,
time. Yeah.
It's like, don't do it unless you can't live without it.
Right.
You know, and when you want it that bad, then you're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it hopefully good.
Yeah.
Every time I try to like not discourage, but try to be very practical with people about the realities of pursuing art. And at the end, I'm like, well, if I talked you out of it, it was never for you to begin with, you know?
And the sacrifices you needed, even with stand-up. Like, dude,
so
I gave up everything for it.
Same
like, my
here.
girl, my fucking house, my car, my fucking everybody. Like, relationships with friends and family, because that's all I wanted to do. And if you can't do that and you think like, oh, like my brother would be like, dude, you can make time and split. And I'm like, no, there's no splitting time. This shit is serious. And it's like, you got to do it every night, because there's other guys that are out there doing it every single day. And it's like the competition's there. You know, and you got to have the work ethic and the talent. You know?
And you're in LA, which is like the best. Like here in New York, like the best comics.
You're playing with the big boys.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I see local comics all the time, and they're like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm out here doing my thing," but it's like, you know, 3 times a week. I'm like, dude, I do that in one night.
Yeah.
I do 3 sets, you know, a night. So like you're doing 3 shows. It's like I'm getting so much better than you being in your little city. And also, if you want to be, I always use this analogy, like, if you want to be in the NFL, you go play with the fucking Dallas Cowboys. You practice with them, you know. You don't go fucking play pee-wee football, you know.
Flag.
Or somewhere,
for
like
sure.
Some bullshit. Like you have to play with the big. You got to.
You can only get better by being around people who are better than
and
you.
then when you're here, you're forced. Like in an open mic, the fucking guy, there's a
amazing
famous dude on there. It's like, not that, you know, it matters, but like there's guys that you watch him and you go, holy shit, that's what's out there.
Yeah.
As opposed to being in Montana and you're fucking, oh, look, this guy, he sucks and I suck and everyone sucks. So like,
it's like I'm the best by default.
I'm the best out here. So then you got this bullshit air of cockiness. When you come here, you just see the best guys all the time, and you go, wow, I have work to do.
Oh yeah,
kind of lights
sure.
that fire under your ass to
For
be
sure.
like, I gotta work.
I gotta write more, do stuff.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Hey man, we've reached our hour, man.
Dude,
I'm not done yet.
Oh god.
By all means, if you want to stay here longer,
Actually,
if you have
this is
more,
perfect.
you gotta
This is
go
perfect
see
time.
your grandma.
Yeah, I gotta go see Laverne.
Yeah, Laverne. So
We
dude,
can't-
thank you so much for being on this. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Where
Dude, that
can-
was so fun. It was
where
a lot
can
more
people-
serious than I thought. Like this question, every time I look at him, he goes, and then when your dad is getting sick,
man.
how do you feel about your dad when he's really sick?
Some
I go, what the
self-reflect-
fuck, man? Ali, leave it alone. You know, he goes, and then, okay, your worst tragedy. Go back to
We want to break you
If you
down.
can just rank your top 3
Yeah.
tragedies,
And
what
then,
would they be?
So after you did your first bombing,
Yeah.
on stage you were bombing really bad.
Yeah, we just want to like destroy your spirits before you.
Okay,
leave.
but last thing is, where can these people find you on social media?
You can find me on social medias at Amir Comedy, AMIR, and then comedy. And the website is amircomedy.com for tour dates if you want to see me live.
And he's hilarious. Go see him on tour.
Before you came, I was trying to look up what does the K stand for.
K is Kamyab,
Kamyab.
you know, and it's like it just stuck. Like I had it. I don't know. This story is just boring, kind of. I was you know, I was just going by Amir because Kamyab was hard for at the open mic.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's not even hard to say. It's Kamyab.
Yeah,
it's
it's
easy.
nothing. Yeah.
And then at the Haha, I got a show on Sunday nights. And it was called So Funny Sundays, right? And with Amir, and then we're gonna put my whole name up there. But on the marquee, they can only put So Funny Sundays with Amir K. And then it just all the comics, like, you know, the fucking,
Like, you're Amir K.
Yeah, my friends, like the black comics, were, hey, it's Amir K, man. Like, you know, whatever. That's my black comic impression. That's that for the African Americans.
That's great.
No, so like they just started calling me
Amir
that,
K
and then it
just
just stuck, and then
Yeah.
I liked it. I was like, Amir K, it's cool. It's
Yeah, it
easy.
set you apart from the other Amir who was trying to get in the game.
Non-existent. There's another Amir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Say hi to Laverne for us.
I will.
And you guys can check him out on the CW MADtv, the re-up.
Yeah, you can watch it on Hulu.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, there you
can watch
go.
it on Hulu.
Check that shit out. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode.
I mean, I kind of feel like I wanted to go with him and meet Laverne.
She sounds like a very sweet. I feel like we all had like that white one,
Yeah.
that white sponsor that like helped guide our families.
Mine
when-
was Mr. Britt, and he lived across the street from us. And during holidays, he would, especially during Christmas, he would give us like these. Low-key, I thought he was trying to convert our family. But I mean, that doesn't excuse him being very, very nice. He's so nice. Him and his wife would give us these like giant, you know, those giant tubs of like popcorn.
Oh yeah,
A metal tub.
Yeah,
It has like 4 different kinds.
Yeah.
Right, you have like the
caramel
cheese,
and
caramel.
Do you say caramel or caramel?
I said caramel.
Okay, I say both. I mix them both.
I
up.
mean, I think it's like a regional thing, like pop and soda.
I can't stand people to say pop.
Pop. So they had like the 4
Midwesterners.
different types, and they'd give us like candy canes and stuff, and it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was a good dude.
we had a lady. Her name was Ellen or Elaine. I don't know. She
really had an impact on you. You don't even remember her
it
name.
wasn't me. It was all my folks and my grandma and my mom and so she really helped us out back in the day. So shout out to those super sweet white people that take care of refugees.
Just nice people in general. Thank you for helping us out. It's just tough coming from another country.
Not knowing the language.
Thank you for welcoming us.
Thank you for welcoming us.
Thank you for being a real American.
Thank you for being a real American.
Yes. So yeah, Amir, that was great.
That was a great episode.
He had a whole life, and then he sort of, he had a whole career that he then stopped to then pursue his dream, which I think is 10 times scarier than just being like, oh, like me, I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do comedy.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a big career and like a life where I knew that life was better. Because a lot of comedy is just like being dead broke.
Yeah.
So it's even harder if you know that in your previous life you had a house. Oof. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were crushing it. And
that's
all
the
that
sacrifice
stuff.
you make for the art and for your dreams. You have to make sacrifices for dreams. But this was a great episode. Last week's episode, like fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
People loved it. And I was getting tweets and like people like actually really love that one. So check that one out with Ali Maki. And then the week before that, we did one with Eric Ochoa.
Yeah.
Super Ego. Yeah. And stay tuned for oh my God, I keep forgetting next week.
We got a packed.
We got
guys, these weeks coming up, we got some
bangers. OG himself.
Yes.
Timothy De La Ghetto's coming in next week. Week after that, Melvin Gregg, the Viner, and now he's on Freakish on Hulu.
Yes.
And after that,
we have Karan Soni, my buddy,
who
is who's on Ghostbusters, Deadpool. He's going to be on Office Christmas Party coming out soon. He's also on Blunt Talk on TV. He's crushing it. He's on everything.
Yeah.
That is a packed schedule we have coming up.
Yeah.
So, guys, I mean, get ready.
Subscribe. Become a Patreon.
Tell your friends about this because we're about to blow up.
This is going to be we're going to go out in 2016 with a bang.
With a bang. It's going to be great.
I'm looking at 50,000 by New Year's.
I feel like, Ali, we're going to get another sponsorship. I kind of feel it. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're going to get another sponsorship.
We have something in the works. We have something in the works.
Oh, shit.
Let's just say we're going to be riding to success on the sponsorship.
That sounds like we're getting a tandem bicycle, and I'm very into that. Guys, thank you so much. Please subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Hit up our Patreon. And
midweek, we're going to talk about Halloween.
We're going to talk about Halloween. Yeah. And then the week after that, we got to talk about this voting.
We got to
talk about this election coming up. How exactly you vote for things and down ballot.
And if you don't give a shit about the presidential candidates, there's more important people to vote for.
So we got a packed schedule coming up, guys. We love you. We'll see you next week. I'm Asif Ali.
Ali Baluch.
This is The Apartment. Bye.
Oh, and shout out.
Oh, shit.
I'm glad we forgot about these people.
Oh, man, these pieces of shit. We have to shout them out every time because they actually help us.
They do.
But I want to tell you, me and Ali we're gonna go solo.
We're going to go solo one day.
This thing is really going to go downhill because we won't have any help.
That's what happens when you break off, when people think they can go off on their own.
And they're like, oh, maybe all of those people helped me become good.
Yeah. Like, who's that girl from the lead singer from Pussycat Dolls? Nicole
Scherzinger.
Yeah, she went solo and she went nowhere. But when she was with the Pussycat Dolls, she was riding fame.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, though.
Sometimes, unless you're like...
This guy.
It only works if you're that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so shout out to our producers, Imran J. Khan and Sumair Khan, for helping us structure these questions and these episodes and helping us guide them.
Get these guests and do all this. Get our sponsors and do all this.
Sponsors, man. Yeah. Shout out to Adidas okay, so maybe Sumair might have hooked up that that sponsorship. So
once again, shout outs to Adidas. Hey, you wanted to get a suit jacket, but you also do crime? Wear this Adidas jacket.
I do a lot of crime. Illegal.
Yep.
I'm a criminal.
Okay. I'm Asif Ali.
Ali Baluch.
Last time, I'm the apartment. This is the apartment. This is the apartment.
I'm the
apartment.
You are the apartment.
You all live inside of me.
Do we have a name? Because I feel like everyone has like dumbass names for like their viewers. Like,
first of all, let's not degrade our viewers into a nickname. I'm not gonna call you guys the roommates or some bullshit like that. You guys are adults and you guys have opinions and dreams, and I'm not gonna degrade you into some bullshit nickname that you guys all are. You guys are individuals. and I would call you by your name if I knew you.
I respect that. And,
Okay.
And on that note,
we'll see you guys next week. Got a packed schedule. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
bye.